Good afternoon, Billsmafia. What's good? It's your boy. I'm back again for another week. This week it's Philadelphia at Buffalo. The Eagles, world champion Eagles, coming to town to take on the Bills. Bills coming in at 11-4 with 2 games left. 1 game out of first place in the AFC East. The problem is New England's sitting there. They have the Dolphins, or the Jets this week, and the Dolphins next week. So the Bills, although a win would, keep them alive for the division, we can't count on it. As a matter of fact, I am in the doubtful category. There's a lot of people that would say, "Oh, you got to keep hope alive. You got to keep hoping. You got to have confidence." I'm sorry. The Dolphins and the Jets this year stink. And the Bills really did blow it by losing to the Dolphins and the Falcons. Those 2 games cost us the division. In hindsight, but mainly the Dolphins game. That one was the one that really kind of sealed the deal, because it was an in-division game, it was an in-conference game, and it was a game that we should have won. We are better than the Dolphins. We should have beat them. That being said, today's game, just on the surface, and really that's kind of where I'm going to be thinking about this game, is on the surface. I don't know. The Eagles are one of those teams that they're almost like us. They're like really good, and they're good, but they're inconsistent, and sometimes you don't know what you're going to get out of them. A.J. Brown has been a menace to his own team on occasion this year, but he is still a threat. And Devontae, I was going to say Devontae Adams, but their other wide receiver, sorry, his name escapes me at the moment, really good wide receiver. Their main 2 wide receivers are really good. Their defense is pretty good. Their offensive line is pretty good. I would say this, and for this, we're kind of going to go to the inactive list, because we've got Jordan Poyer inactive today due to injury. That's a big deal. And I know Jordan Poyer is not the guy that he used to be, but he's a leader back there, and he's a stabilizing force in the defensive backfield. And a guy like that with the Eagles wide receiving core can actually, a guy like that actually helps, even though he's not the man that he used to be. He's not the player that he used to be athletically. The other problem are 2 other inactives on defense, or 2 major inactives on defense, are Daquan Jones and Jordan Phillips on the defensive line at tackle. That's a problem. Given Saquon Barkley's ability and the Bills' issues with stopping the run, that could be a problem. So that's going to be an issue. Keon Coleman is inactive. I don't think he was a 2nd-round pick, so I don't know what his contract situation is in terms of, he doesn't have a 5th-year option. So the Bills, and I think it's a 4-year deal without a 5th-year option. So the Bills could conceivably let him go, because the salary cap hit probably wouldn't be that big. But man, what a disappointment. What a disappointment. Dalton Kincaid is inactive. That's a problem. I'm starting to wonder about Dalton Kincaid. He stays hurt. That's a big deal. Your 1st-round draft pick, although he's good, see, that's the problem. He's actually really good, And when he's in there, he's very effective. But the problem is, one of your biggest abilities in the NFL is availability, and he just doesn't have it. And I'm wondering what's going to happen with him. You've got to keep him around longer because of the fact that he's got a fifth-year option. He's got 4 years guaranteed. His salary is going to be higher because he's a first-round draft pick. So he's going to be going into his third year, but that's an option year. So the Bills can decide on whether or not to keep him, pick up his option after next season. And if he doesn't have an entire season where he's not hurt, that could be a problem for him and a problem for the Bills, because that would be another wasted draft pick. But that being said, the NFL's leading rusher is not Saquon Barkley, who plays for the Eagles. The NFL's leading rusher is one James Cook III. And I got to tell you, I expect a heavy dose of James Cook today. I don't know what the weather's going to be like exactly, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I talked to my daughter who lives up in Buffalo. I should have asked her, dummy. But that being said, I think this is going to be a James Cook day. You're going to get a heavy dose of James Cook, and we have Grable, who's the only offensive lineman that's out. So our offensive line is healthy. That's good news. And that's why I think you're going to see a healthy dose of James Cook. And I think he's going to be very effective. He usually is at home. So watch out for that. I think what I'm going to say is, although I'm not entirely confident in this result, I'm going to say the Bills are going to give it all they've got. And the other reason, by the way, you're going to see a healthy dose of James Cook is to keep Josh Allen from re-injuring that foot. He's been limited in practice all week. But he's good to go according to Sean McDermott. But that's why you're going to see a healthy dose of James Cook. If you see the passing game, it's going to be the quick passing game. Get ready for the screenplays, baby. I don't like it, but you got to keep Josh healthy for the playoffs. So that being said, final score, 24-20 Buffalo. Go Bills.